Most people ask themselves the wrong questions and then wonder why nothing changes. The quality of your life is shaped by the questions that you're willing to ask yourself honestly. Today, I want to share the three most important questions you can ask yourself if you want real alignment and not just motivation. So I'm going to share what Google says are the three most important questions. And then I'm going to share what my Soul Compass custom Ascension AI said about these three most important questions. And then I will give my opinion about it as we go along. So if we want to be making progress in our lives, it's not about the answers, it's about the questions. So, what are the three most important questions that you want to ask yourself? So, I put this into Google, and Google said these are the top three questions. Number one, who am I? This is going to help you understand your core self, your values, and your beliefs. So, who am I? How do you find that out, right? Well, of course, I recommend hand analysis because that is actually the roadmap to everything about who you are. Your fingerprints, which form 5 months before birth, they talk about your life purpose, which leads into the second question. Why am I here? What is my purpose? Finding meaning in what truly matters to you. So, and then where am I going? What matters the most? Defining your goals, legacy, and priorities. So the second branch of palmistry is chirognomy, which is your hand shape and your personality archetypes. That's definitely going to tell you a lot about who you are and what you believe to be true. And then, of course, where are you going? That's your free will. And that is going to be reflected through your lines in your hands. So that was Google. Okay, so I thought those are pretty good questions. I like all of those. And definitely, especially in the new year, right? It's important for us to ask ourselves where we're going and what does really matter for you in this year. So when I asked my custom AI Soul Compass, this is what she said. Number one, what is being asked of me right now? Not what do I want or what should I do? Okay, so this question moves you out of ego effort and into soul responsiveness. It tunes you into timing, readiness, and right action. So when you are asked this sincerely, the nervous system relaxes because you are no longer forcing outcomes. The palm portal to touch is the portal of change, which is located in the center of the palm. And then our follow-up awareness is the answer about action, rest, truth, or boundaries. Is it smaller and simpler than my mind expected? Okay, so let's analyze this first one that came in from Soul Compass. So when we tune into our soul, right, we are becoming more of a co-creator of our lives. And instead of pushing our own agenda, right? Sometimes, for example, sometimes you want something really bad and you think, oh, if I just get this, I will be so happy and everything will be perfect, right? Have you ever asked yourself that? But then you got it, and then you're like, wow, I don't know why I wanted that so much. I really am not that much happier, or it wasn't what I was expecting. So I like how this commentary is about getting into the soul's response. The ego wants what the ego wants, right? That's that personality aspect. But the soul has an agenda for you that is even better than you could imagine. So sometimes we need to change and we don't know what necessarily what we need to change. And that's why Soul Compass is referring to the portal of change. So by the way, we have 11 portals in our hands. And when we work with these, we can actually open up different aspects of our multidimensional selves. So if you're interested in doing a little exercise with me right now, what we can do is actually take that part of our hand, the center part of our palm, and we can massage it. So just go ahead and give it a little massage. And then ask yourself as you do that, what is my soul asking of me right now? What is my next co-creation? What is in alignment with my next co-creation? And just take a deep breath and just tune into that and see if a picture comes in or a message or if something else is coming in for you. All right, just take a deep breath and just ask yourself if that's giving you any insights. Okay, so let's go to our second question. By the way, I would love to hear from you what answers you came up with. Okay, so the second question, am I responding from fear or from truth? This is one of the most powerful discernment questions you can ever ask. Fear always sounds urgent, loud, and contracting. Truth feels calm, steady, and inevitable, even if it's uncomfortable. This question instantly reveals whether you are repeating an old pattern or choosing evolution. And the palm portal to touch is right Mercury, so that's your right little finger, and that is your higher truth and wisdom portal. And your truth statement is I choose responses that align with who I am becoming, not who I have been. Okay, so let's comment on this for a moment. I like this question because it is helping you to recognize if you're choosing from a fear-based agenda. So a lot of times we choose things out of fear because we think we don't have any other choice, right? So when we are fearful, for example, so this could apply to work. Let's say this is you, even though I hate my job, I still go to my job because I'm afraid, this is really what's going on in the background. I'm afraid that I can't get anything else, or I'm afraid that I'm not going to be good enough to actually move into the work that I love, or I'm afraid that I won't be able to make enough money to support myself if I leave this job. The same applies to relationships, right? So we can choose really bad or negative relationship that's not good for us because we're afraid, well, if I leave this relationship, I'll never get another one. Or if I leave this relationship, I'll just be alone and I won't know what to do, right? So there's a lot of reasons why we pick things. And at the time, it might seem logical, it might seem like the best decision, but it's actually coming from that fear. So if you are in your full empowerment, what does that look like instead? Well, if you're in a job you don't like, maybe you should be asking yourself the truth and being truthful to yourself. Who am I becoming, or who do I want to become? So what kind of job would be ideal for me? And what job would give me joy? What job would give my soul long-term joy? And then start taking steps towards that, right? It doesn't have to be overnight. It doesn't have to be immediate, but you need to be honest with yourself. So that's what I like about this question. So let's go ahead and just take that right little finger, go ahead and put it right on your heart. And let's go ahead and say that invocation out loud, that truth statement together. I choose responses that align with who I am becoming, not who I have been. Thank you, and so it is. All right, so let's move on to the third question. What would alignment look like in my body? This question bypasses the mind entirely. Your body never lies. Alignment always shows up as a softening, a deep exhale, a sense of grounded clarity, or a quiet inner yes. Success, love, money, and purpose all stabilize when the body feels safe. The palm portal to touch would be left Saturn. That's your left middle finger, which is the portal of karmic neutralization. And to listen for, where do I feel tight, heavy, or resistant? What choice allows my body to settle? Okay, so what I like about this question is that it actually brings in the kinesthetic and the tangible, right? So a lot of times when we are just on autopilot, we are completely disassociated from our body and we're not really in tune. So, yes, when we're tense, when we have pain, we have stiffness and tightness, yeah, these are going to be indications that maybe we're not in full alignment. This is definitely something to pay attention to. We could have a trapped emotion, for example. And this is some of the work, by the way, that I help people release in my Diamond Heart program. So if you are noticing a a pain or a discomfort in your body, chances are it is some kind of trapped emotion that is stuck there and wants to release. And then when we release it, we can actually move forward into more of this safe and secure feeling, and we can move forward in our lives. So I do like this question. And left Saturn is definitely a portal that I like to work with because a lot of times we carry these lessons and they can be life lessons. They're located in the fingerprints. And sometimes if we're not really proactive in it, it's just going to keep repeating, right? So we don't want to keep repeating the same patterns over and over again. In order to really move forward in our lives, we need to make choices that are, again, in alignment, right? So we need to be in that safety. All right. So I am liking these three questions for you. Let me know in the comments which question you would ask. And if you think there's another question that should be on the list, I'd be interested in hearing from you regarding that. So, a closing transmission. If you ask only these three questions consistently, you will stop overthinking, shorten lessons, and move faster without pushing. They return you to inner authority, the true source of massive success. All right, so I love that Soul Compass wants us to really tune inward. I think that's a great way to go through life. And I love to talk about these types of questions because these are also the types of questions that I pose each and every month inside the Soul Compass membership. So if you're interested in exploring this more and really diving in and also transforming some of these challenges, I do have a free version of this membership. Just go to ascension17.com/free and you can get started there. Or you can go straight to my membership page and you can see what upgraded memberships you can join in on. We actually do live calls every month. We do different questions in different portals every month. We focus on a different aspect of Ascension. And I share a lot of tips and tools to get you really on your ascension path. So it's a structured way to actually ascend. Anyway, I am really happy to be here and happy to share this with you. And let's ascend together. Have a beautiful day, everyone.